Hi guys, it's Emily from Novel Novels and welcome to today's video. This is my 3 years on Booktube video. And what I decided I would do is I would do things in groups of 3. Because it's 3 years, so I've done groups of 3. I have got a few extra honorary mentions, which will be done as honorary mentions. In general, I'm trying to stick to 3. But I've written this in my notes for this video and it's kind of been extended quite a bit. I've got, at the end of the video, I will talk about my future plans for next year, for the next sort of year on Booktube, and see where I want this channel to grow. But I want to say thank you. At the day of recording this, I'm over 800 something subscribers. If I get to my 900 by the day that I get this, but around about, when I get to that, I'm just going to scream because I'm so bloody close. I'm like 885 or something, like 895 or something at the moment. It's doing my nut. I'm like this close to getting 3. 900 would be a dream. If I get to my 1,000 by the end of the year, that would be another dream come true. But I'm trying not to get too stressed by it all because the whole point of Booktube is that I want it to be fun. So I wanted to film this. This will go up round about the 3-year anniversary. I don't know exactly. I need to double check my exact date that I put the 3-year up. But yeah, I'm here. I'm still here. And God, it's been an interesting journey. I've had some rough rides. I've had some times where I've wanted to quit. But I've had some amazing things that have happened over this time. I've gained friends that have been friends for life. I've had friends come and go, which is fine because that's life. But I want to celebrate the fact that 3 years down the line, Booktube has been my saviour. And before I start showing you all the lists and everything else, I want to say thank you to you all. You all know that I suffer from chronic pain and depression and anxiety, and that's something I'll mention in other videos. But Booktube has actually literally saved me more times than I care to remember. It saved me in the fact that the books have given me a focus when the pain's been ridiculous. It's given me friends that have been there for me when I felt so lonely that I couldn't. Sometimes with what I suffer, I don't always want to talk to my friends here and my family here because I feel like they hear it every day, and I feel like it's so hard for them. And I know Chris struggles when he hears me in so much pain and stuff. So my friends online have been real godsends, and I'm going to shout them out. I literally am. And even the friends that have come and gone, I'm grateful for them because at the time they were my friends, they were still rocks, and I will be forever grateful for having them in my life. And that's something I'm going to move forward. You don't have to have friends for life. Sometimes people do come and go, but I will always be grateful for my time with them. And that's something I want to shout out. So to all you friends that have come and gone, if you see this, thank you. So let's get on with the lists. I've got my little helper down there. Thomas is going to be giving me a couple of books because it's Easter holidays and it's the day after his birthday. By the way, I thought for the 3 years video, I thought I'd wear my Jane Eyre jumper because that'll be mentioned as well. So first of all, I want to talk about my 3 top rated videos. The first one was actually one that I didn't realise. It's actually one of my newest out of the 3, but it's actually got the top rating, and that was my classics for 2022. I am on track for that. I am reading the classics on track, so I'm doing all right. I should be able to get them all done, but that had 665 views. That was absolutely incredible. I did not expect that. I was like, but actually videos on my classics seem to be getting my highest ratings in general. They're actually some of my highest rating videos. Links down to the next one. Thomas, stop playing with the balloon. And the next one was my Victober TBR for 2021. That got 550 views. And I love Victober. Victober is something else. In a minute, I'll talk about that. It's actually another thing I'm going to mention. And then lastly, my newbie tag. Obviously, newbie tag's going to be a standard good one. That got 476 views. The next thing I want to talk about is the 3 readathons that I love every year. So the first one is obviously Victober because that was the first readathon I ever did. That's hosted by Katie from Books and Things, Kate Howe, and then they always have an extra video. I think Claudia from Spencer's Library helped them last year. I know other people have done it other years, but that is a readathon I plan for every frigging year. Every year I plan for it. Every year I spend the whole year getting my books ready. I'm already planning for this year's. I've got loads of books ready for it. I love it. Victober is something I celebrate every year. Then obviously Jane Austen July, which is coming up soon. I've got some videos already planned for that. I've got some books planned for that already. That's run by Katie from Books and Things and Marissa from Blatantly Bookish, both of which are really lovely friends of mine, and I think they're amazing. And then lastly, a readathon that I host myself every year, which is the Past and Future Readathon. I host that normally with Gemma from Read a Book Gem. I hope she continues doing it, but if she doesn't, no matter what, I've decided that I'm going to do the Past and Future one every year because it seems to be quite a popular readathon. It seems to be one that I really love making, and it's one that I love doing in January to really bring in the new year. The 3 favourite videos that I've made. Yes, that being a mother's fun. Being a mother's fun when you're trying to record. It has been my birthday bonanza announcements because that was my first readathon that I did on my own. And I really loved doing that. I loved having a readathon on my own. I really enjoyed doing it. Had some great fun and it got quite a few views. And it was the best way of celebrating my birthday. I celebrated it with all of you. So let me know if you want me to do that next year. My Journey with the Brontes was a good video that I filmed last year for March last year. I love talking about the Brontes. They are authors that really... The Brontes books are some of my favourites ever. And then lastly, Disability My Story. I am really shouting out at the moment, getting awareness on the disabilities and getting that awareness out there and getting that awareness better. So I really think that's very important to me. And I really want to shout that out. I am loving this. I'm filming this video and Thomas is not shutting up. So I think if he wants his balloon, otherwise if he doesn't get off this, his balloon's going to get popped. So go bye-bye. Say bye-bye, Thomas. The joys of filming. So they were all 3 videos that I loved. Like I said, the Disability My Story has actually helped get awareness out there of disabilities, invisible disabilities. And that's something I really want to fight for because that is my cause. That's my thing that I'm very excited for. So I loved writing that. That video was very emotional though. But again, if you want me to do more videos on that, please let me know. The 3 books over 3 years. So I've looked at my past book hauls and I found out the top 3 books. I have actually changed my one for last year because the more I think about it, the more it's just kind of changing a bit. And it's quite funny because I've looked at these hauls and I've actually gone, now looking back at it, these weren't necessarily the books that stood out to me. But the first one is, the one from 2019 was This Is Gonna Hurt by Adam Kay. This is one actually I think I'm going to reread soon because I really love this book and I really want to reread this. So that was my favourite book of that year. And looking back, yes, I see why it was my favourite book. But there's another book that I'll be showing you for a different story that would easily have, that I think probably should have got the best book of that year because that's the other one. It was actually one that I'm still thinking about quite a lot this year. My favourite book of 2020 was The Familiars by Stacey Halls, and that is still going to go down as one of my favourite books because it was absolutely incredible and I loved it, and it's one I still could shout out and I would love to reread this. This is going to be another one that I've got to reread. And Thomas is going to give me the next one.
Talia Hibbert's,
and it's Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I said that Someone I Used to Know by Page 2 was my favourite book of last year, and it is still one of my favourite books. But again, looking back now, I'm filming this in April. This is probably the book that actually stands out to me the most because Page 2 could count as a favourite author for every year. She is pretty close, but so technically I think this is my honorary mention because Someone I Used to Know by Page 2 was brilliant. And then Get a Life, Chloe Brown was incredible. Thomas, please get off it. Get a Life by Chloe Brown, though, is the book that's still very close to my heart because this person has chronic pain. This person has a lot of issues and their fights. This has been a reread and I've loved it. So this one really does stand out to me. The 3 biggest flops over the years. 3 books I really either wanted to like and not liked or have wanted to scream at. The first one was The Woman Who Went to Bed for a Year. That book did my head in. I literally threw it in the bin. It was that bad. That's probably the worst book I've ever read. Bag of Bones by Stephen King. It just reminded me why Stephen King is not for me at all. That's nothing personal to him. It's just not my kind of bag. And then Vox by Christina Powers. I think I can't remember her name, but that book annoyed the hell out of me because it was about shocking women who were trying to talk without a certain number of days, and the female principals in that book really annoyed me because I literally wanted to scream my head off at them. So that one really did get to me. The next one is 3 new releases I can't wait for. First one is Young Mungo, which is out this month. I've pre-ordered it. I'm reading it in May, so that's a sneaky peek from my May TBR. Love Untold by Ruth Jones. Us 3 by Ruth Jones was one of the best books that I've read this year already. I've got Never Greener by Ruth Jones that's on my shelf that I'm going to be starting at the end of the month. I'm reading that with my sister Charlie. So obviously I can't wait for that book. The next one, the last one, is a shocking one that will shock you, and that's Bloodmarked, which is the sequel to Legendborn. A lot of people didn't like Legendborn, but for me, I actually found it really quite interesting, so I did like it. So I'm really looking forward to that book coming out. And then my honourable mention has to go to Forging Silver into Stars by Bridget Kemener. I love Bridget Kemener's books. This new release has been put back till June, and I'm gutted because I've got to wait for that, but I absolutely loved that book. Thomas, come on. And yeah, so that's another honourable mention, but a new release that I will be getting as soon as it comes out. I'll possibly pre-order it. I probably will pre-order it in all honesty, but I can't wait for that one. 3 favourite authors. Now I'm going to see if someone can get me with these books. Thomas, you going to help me? So the first one is Page 2. You've got to find the Page 2 book. No, it's not that one.
Page 2, page 2.
She will always be my favourite author of all time. I've got 2 more books to get, which is the 2 Jessie Jefferson books. Then I will own all her work. That is how good she is. This is my second favourite of her books. I loved Johnny Be Good. It was one of the best books ever. Thoroughly loved it. Thought it was brilliant. Page 2 is an author I chat to on Instagram, chat to on Twitter. She's amazing. I love rereading all her books. And Thomas?
The
Woolworths Girls. Elaine Everest. I have to mention her. She is fantastic. I've got all of her books as well. I will buy all of her books. I got her book, her latest Woolworths Girls book for my Mother's Day present, and I'm reading that in May. So you've got a couple of sneaky peeks for May. And then lastly, Bridget Kemener. And this is the book that should have been on my favourites of 2019 because it's the one that's kept in my heart. It's the one that's very close to my heart. Again, the lead character in this has chronic pain and disability, invisible disability. And that's why I will always shout this book out. It's my favourite series, one of my favourite series ever. I loved it. Kirsten Cannoli was amazing. Like I said, she's got Forging Silver into Stars, which is not this series, the Curse series, but it's a series connected to this series. It's the start of that, and that's the book I'm going to be getting straight away. But my honourable mention, I think, for the favourite authors has to go to our Charles Heathcote. And he is one of my favourite authors. This is his book that I proofread. Oh, what is it called? Beta read. And I love Charlie's books. All of his books are amazing. They always make me smile. So he's got my honourable mention for favourite authors. And he's going to love that as well. Top favourite genres. Obviously, historical fiction. Nope. Obviously, contemporary. And then lastly, even though non-fiction, not yet. Even though non-fiction, it seems to be one of the books that I read a lot of. Classics are my go-to. I love reading classics at certain times of the year. Having a bit of a wobble on my classics at the moment, but it is a favourite author. Yeah, talking about classics, actually good. Thomas is showing me a book that I love, Pride and Prejudice. Love this, love this, love this. And then the top 3 series. So we've got the Tudor Queen series, which obviously if you guys would have just seen my announcement the other day of that I'm rereading this series this year, over the next year or so. And yeah, this is one of my favourite series of all time. Can't wait to reread it. Loved it. Always want to support my friends' channels. The next one is The Pinch of Magic. And the reason and the other reason why this connects into it is because it's about 3 sisters. And I love books on 3 sisters. So that's obviously why that connects in. The Get a Life Chloe Brown's got 3 sisters. But The Pinch of Magic's 3 sisters, and I love it. And then lastly, my top series ever is one that I will never forget, and that's the Noughts and Crosses series, which I will probably reread at some point. Do you think I should do a read along with this next year? What do you think? Does anyone let me know in the comments below? Then my 3 longest Booktube friends, I looked at the comments on my newbie video, and they are Linda from Linda's World of Books, Gaia from Gaia Athena, Julie from Hungry Bookworm, an honourable mention to Clint from Reads Readers, who I don't necessarily watch all his videos now because I'm manically rushing around, but we do still chat on Instagram, and he is lovely, and I think he deserves an honourable mention. My 3 newest friends are Danny from Danny's World of Books. I never remember your channel name, Danny. I'm so daft. Alice from the Alice and the Giant Bookshelf, and Jem from Gem of Books. But I want to do an honorary mention to three friends that I chat to daily, or not daily, but virtually every day, chat to a lot, who aren't on this. So these are 3 very special friends, so that's how they can count as 3. And that is Gemma from Read a Book Gem, who is one of my best friends. She's someone I meet up with regularly and I love her. Ange from Angie's Book Chatter. She has been a friend for a very long time. She is the sweetest, kindest person I've ever met, and I absolutely adore her. And then lastly, Charlie from Charles Heathcote. He is a true friend and he's absolutely incredible. So those are all the 3s. Thomas, excuse me. Thomas is going to sit down now and be quiet. But now I want to quickly mention some of my plans, my future plans. So I am in May, I'm creating another tag video, which I will be tagging you on. May, yeah, we're going to be doing a May tag video. I'm going to start doing book hauls revisited. So I'm going to start looking at my old videos and doing like a couple per one. So don't know how many I can fit into that. So I'm going to look at the old videos and look at what books I bought and whether I've reread them. And then what something Alice said about was to jump them up my list. So if I've not read them and they've been on my shelf for ages, I then need to either try a chapter on them or something else. I've got some more read-alongs host, like I said, to be planned. So obviously I'm doing the Tudor Queens read-along. Then I'm going to be hosting a read-along in Booktober of one of my favourite books. I am going to be doing, I've got some other read-alongs that I think I'm going to be planning to do, which will be fun. I may do another, obviously I'm going to keep doing my readathons every year. And yeah, I kind of want to think about some new ideas about how to bring my channel up to date. I'm going to do more Instagram lives, I've got more Bookworm chat groups. Sorry about this. So there, I've got some good read-alongs planned. I love doing read-alongs. That they are one of my all-time favourite, although I do tend to overload myself. I would like to, I'm just really loving Booktube. Like, I want to know if there's any other things, but the key things are I'm going to be doing more read-alongs. I'm going to be creating at least one more tag video. I'm going to do Booktube book hauls revisited. I might do a proper book, I might do a video on my actual charity shop that I work at. So I'm going to do a big video on charity shops and how we can help support them. And I've got some videos coming up about the top books that my favourite books of all time, and doing things like that. And ideally, I'm going to do videos without certain little children in. And that's the end of this video. So I want to thank you all for 3 years on Booktube. You've all been absolutely incredible and I'm so grateful for you all. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed yet, ring on my ding-a-ling. I'm sorry for the mad child that's been in this video. Take care. Bye bye.